Hey YouTube, Charlie here again, back for another video. If you missed my last video, I introduced my First Authority website, discussed a little bit about the traffic and the earnings, and discussed the outlook for going forward with that website and how I plan to let it sit, mature, and gain authority. During that website journey, I learned a lot, but the key thing I learned was what not to do, the mistakes, the things that could have been done a little bit differently, where I could have saved some money. So I decided to implement that into my second niche authority website. This website's gonna be a little bit more focused on informational ads, less of an emphasis on authority, less backlinks, and no Amazon associates. That's where it's gonna be for now. I'm going to reassess the backlink part later on. I don't want to avoid any Google penalty later on when I have it to be a clean website. But without further ado, let's jump right into it. So this is publishing 1,000 articles onto my new authority site number 2. This is going to be a mega website, have a lot of content. This journey was motivated by Carl Broadbent, who mentioned he had his own mega site in the works, and he just recently published an income report on that. So first was the motivation behind the project. So obviously hearing Carl build a mega authority website was exciting. Hearing other people in the space play around with it and get some decent results early on was neat. But I stumbled upon a website that had over 1,000 articles, and they were ranking for so many keywords. On SEMrush, on Ahrefs, was showing keywords in the 400, 500,000 range, with organic traffic anywhere from 800,000 to 1 million. So I figured it was an older authority website. It was established for a while, but when I further dug into it, I noticed the website was only around for about 11 and a half months, which was crazy. They targeted low comp keywords, anywhere from 50 to 500 searches a month. And now they seem to be in that, mega authority stage where they can almost rank for anything on the first page within reason. So that website's really grown. And it's really inspired me to do this jersey. Obviously, I'm not going to disclose that person's site. It would give away my niche, and I don't want to hurt someone else's website as well. But that was kind of the main reason behind this journey. Building a second website, let my first site age, let it climb in the ranks, build authority, and let me get the next one going. And I've decided to pick a website that's also not focused on a seasonality hit. So this website should bring in decent traffic all year round. Search volume shouldn't really change. It should remain rather consistent with a steady curve rather than that trend up and then kind of shoots back down. So that's going to be key, and I'm excited for that. But obviously, you usually shouldn't copy another person's website, even if you decide to do different topics, unless the website is a lower authority. So this is a lower authority domain. I'm going to be writing different articles, different topics. Just kind of the mindset and the approach they took is what I'm going to be referencing for this journey. So the initial goal is to publish 1,000 informational articles in a year. Daunting task. It's going to be expensive, but it's going to be over the course of a year. I'm going to be reinvesting earnings I have from my first website and try to write content where I can. The average word count is going to be 1,000 to 1,250 words, which is more that response type of post. I'm going to try and just build a website that's really answering questions on the internet that are underserved, that aren't answered. Those questions that people normally just type in quickly when, they want to pull out their phone and are curious about something related to my niche. That's what I'm going to be shooting for. That's going to be the search traffic. When I did some keyword research early on, I saw some really good numbers that I liked. And clearly it's working for several other people within the space. And there doesn't seem to be too much competition. Although the niche is very competitive and saturated, this specific topic is not oversaturated, which is great. So I'm trying to spend between 1.5 to 2 cents a word, which gets me to $15 to $20 per article. And like I said, emphasis on response posts. So it's the can you articles, the what is, the how longs. Without giving too much more away from that, many of the articles are going to start with those type of phrases where it's answering a question, and providing a response that somebody will hopefully search for in Google search. The other key to this is I'm going to use a structured template. So in the past, for my first website, I kind of just outsourced the topic to writers, had them come up with what made sense. They sent it back to me. I would really just ask for SEO friendly subheadings, And I started realizing a lot of those articles weren't coming back with solid on-page optimization for SEO. It seemed like the content was all over the place. It wasn't user-friendly. Sometimes it's nice to have those phrases bolded that somebody could be searching for that came to that article. So I really wanted to make sure that this website did a great job of answering the question, being a great experience for the user, providing charts, providing diagrams, and being the ultimate source that somebody would want to find when searching that question or clicking on that topic. So with that plan, I'm going to be outsourcing roughly 95% of the content. I'm going to write as much as I can. That number could go down, that number can go slightly up, but my goal is to write as much content I can over the year and when I have availability to write something. I don't think all articles need to be over 1,000 words. If you can satisfy the question in 800 words and there's no competition and you know that you can rank first because you have forms and other type of things on there that aren't related to what someone's searching, I think you can easily outrank them. I've seen it on my first website. So I'm going to be answering questions that make sense, clear and concise, and hopefully outrank whoever's in my way. The next piece is going to be monetizing with premium ad network. So obviously this is going to be down the road. This is not right away. I already use Ezoic for my first website. Mediavine's 50,000 page views. AdThrive's 100,000 page views per month. That's the goal. I don't know if that's going to take 6 months, 12 months, 18 months. Essentially, I want to get to one of those two ad providers. Ezoic's been great. I really do enjoy them, but I also kind of want to get a taste of Mediavine and AdThrive just to understand the differences between the two. Not sure if this website's going to be the first one to try out with Mediavine or AdThrive, or it'll be my first authority site, but either way, I'm excited to try that out and get to that point. Okay, next is the big thing is cost, right? So just thinking with basic numbers and trying to keep the math a little simple, obviously it's going to change depending on what article I need and what writer I'm using. But between my $15 and $20 writers that I have right now that have been doing a good job following the template, I figured a $17.50 average per 1,000-word article made sense, which gave me the number that I have on the screen here. So if I do 1,000 articles times 1,000 words, that's 1,000,000 words, right? Simple math, makes sense. Now, if I multiply that 1,000,000 words by 0.0175 cents, I'm going to get $17,500 total cost for content, right? So that's not including the domain, hosting, anything I decide to do with backlinks. That's $17,500 just for content for 1,000 word articles to build this site. Money's going to be coming from reinvesting from earnings from my first authority site. That site's doing well, it's making decent money, but as that niche becomes a little more relevant and it falls into the season that people are searching, traffic is going to bump up. The question is how much? I'm not sure. Will the website grow naturally and gain authority during that time as well? Hopefully, and that should only benefit the earnings. But I'm going to be reinvesting earnings from my first authority site while also having some money on the side that I can put towards this project. It's not going to be all at once. The content push is not going to be all in 1 month. It's going to be the course of several months, and it'll kind of be spaced out over time so I don't kind of get a big hit of investment into the project. And like I said, writing my own content where possible, where it makes sense. Obviously, the niche does interest me. There's things that I know about it, people around me that know stuff that I can ask them. Gonna leverage my resources, put some good content together, see how my articles do. It's always good to test them, right? The content you're paying for, how are those articles performing relative to the content that I could put on the website? They always say people that write for your website don't care about as much as you. Well, let me put that to the test. Let me see how they write versus how I write. How do they perform? I've had some really good experiences so far with the writers I've had. And the key to finding a good writer is sending them your template, sending it to kind of 5 or 10 writers and seeing which templates or which articles come back the best based on all those type of writers that you outsource it to. So I go on Upwork, find a bunch of writers in the $20, $25 range to start, tell them, the large size of the project, able to negotiate down to that $15, $20 range. And I pick the best writers from that point, give them plenty of work where they're happy to do business with me, keep them incentivized by providing tips and opportunities where they can make more money. They always get excited by that. But the key for them is giving them consistent work that makes sense to them, easy to follow, and being be responsive when they ask questions and able to answer their questions. So the other part to this is the budget for backlinks, right? So building an authority website is going to rely on links. Links are going to matter at the end of the day. Whether you build those links or not is not really what I'm focused on just yet. I think a lot of this good content is going to generate their own backlinks just naturally. And I saw that with my first website. It doesn't really happen in the first 4 or 5 months at all, unless you do some significant outreach and connecting with people in the community in the space to really grow your presence. But what does happen is links eventually do come in, and I really want this website to benefit from that. So I think having content that's focused on diagrams and charts should really help with that part of the authority aspect to the website, and that could save me money long term. So a little extra money, a little extra effort formatting articles can potentially save you more money when trying to spend on backlinks, which would be incredible. And then the current progress, this is where I'm at right now. Site was launched on December 5th, so it's just about a month old, and I've already published 130 articles to it, all in that 1,000 word range. They all target low comp keywords, working with several writers from Upwork, as I mentioned, and minimal focus on backlinks for now. Google Search Console, this is kind of what I'm working with. You can see the website really slow to start, not much traction, but hey, the good thing to see early on is searches are coming in, articles are getting indexed. Every once in a while, I kind of search one of my articles that's maybe a little low comp versus a medium comp term and just kind of see where it is in the SERPs. And I've even seen a couple on the second and third page already, which is great. Not going to bring in any traffic yet, but just seeing them in the SERPs, seeing them start to slowly rise, tracking keywords on Ahrefs as well as SEMrush is a great way to see how your site's doing early on. I think Ahrefs says I have over 100 keywords ranking, which is not bad for early on, right? We're only a month in. I expect that number to grow exponentially the next few months as the site really starts to gain traction and slowly come out of that Google sandbox. In terms of the Google sandbox, on my first website, I definitely saw it the first 3 months. And then once I kind of got to that 3-4 month mark, I did start hitting anywhere from 50 to 100 page views a month. But the real jump didn't really occur to that 5 month mark. So I'm going to remain persistent, continue to upload content. Don't want to get discouraged. This is the process, this is how it works. If it was easy to upload content and rank right away, everyone would do it and the internet would be loaded with unneeded content. So it's good that they do this to filter out spam. But I'm confident that the information that my writers are preparing and putting up on the site are going to be really beneficial to the users, and hopefully Google sees that. So this is just my estimates of what I'm thinking for traffic and earnings. And obviously I'm trying to be not over excited or not too conservative, but if I had 1,000 articles, you would think realistically, if I gave the site time to age, 100 page views a month per article is fairly realistic. Obviously, many articles are going to underperform that, but also a lot of those articles are going to outperform that. I see that on my site now that some articles are only a few months old already getting several hundred page views a month, and they're kind of very simple topics that you would think are kind of irrelevant and no one's really searching. Well, people are, and those are great page views for your website to capture because they usually have little to no competition. So if we estimate 1,000 articles, 100 page views a month, that'll get me right to 100,000 page views a month, which is incredible. That's an absurd amount of traffic. That's great for a newer website. The path for getting there is going to be interesting to see how long it'll take. But 100,000 page views will allow me to apply to premium ad networks such as Mediavine and AdThrive, which should get me roughly an RPM, and this is being conservative actually, at the $17 15% mark, which is the revenue per mil per 1,000 views. If I multiply that times the 100,000 page views of $17.50 per 1,000 views, I get the $1,750 a month in just ad income, which is incredible. If you think about from my other slide how I plan to spend roughly, $17,000 worth of content, that means it would take roughly 10 months with that level of traffic to break even. That would be incredible if you receive that level of traffic with this type of investment. It's a home run investment. It does really well, but obviously there's a lot of risk. There's time that goes into this. There's effort. You got to actually get the traffic. If I get the traffic, monetization shouldn't be a problem, but the key is targeting content that is underserved on the internet to bring in that initial traffic and to start capturing some organic clicks. The other thing too is, I mean, this number doesn't really include anything with Amazon Associates. Currently, my other website, about half of its income is from Amazon Associates, and I don't really focus too much on Amazon there. Don't like to be reliant on Amazon. You never know when they could cut commissions or when anything else can change. It's a terrific program. It's just more of the dependability of it is a little concerning. It's not like you can easily switch over to a different website and receive comparable type of income. The way Amazon's structured, they're almost like a monopoly of e-commerce where you gain natural trust from your users just by having that Amazon link there. They believe that, I go to that website, I'm getting a product from Amazon that, is trustworthy, safe, and I'm going to get my product delivered, which is a big key to capturing those commissions when promoting on your site. So at this point, I'm going to continue to publish content. I just had my writer send me another block of articles I'm going to start uploading and publishing today. I do edit them. It takes roughly, 10 to 15 minutes to edit an article, format it correctly, make sure I'm getting an image. More often than not lately, I've actually been taking my own image around the house or when I'm out at the store, whatever it is, to try and put up on my website to kind of have my own image, have my own unique taste to it. Sometimes using stock images can get a little boring and maybe turn away some of the readers. So I'm trying to incorporate a little more fun pictures. Obviously, you have to make sure those pictures are not copyrighted on the internet. Make sure you're getting free images. And hey, content's going to keep going up. Hopefully we see Google Search Console continue to climb. I have analytics set up, not really traffic coming in outside of direct visits from my writers, but continue to follow this journey. It's going to get exciting. At the minimum, I do want to keep you guys updated just on Google Search Console and the analytics side to it for how that website slowly climbs out of the sandbox as articles just keep getting pulled into it. The goal is probably, I would say, we should hit roughly 200, 250 articles by the end of the month. I would think no problem. But hey, the end goal is 1,000 articles, and don't really have a plan of stopping there. It's more of an initial goal, get 1,000 articles up, let the website take off and really run, and we'll go from there. So make sure you guys subscribe. I don't want you to miss anything about my affiliate, Amazon, authority website journeys. Things are gonna get real exciting soon. So thanks.